Forget Zoom, forget online courses, and forget launching a school.
Good morning, everyone. And normally I like to work out at this time, but today I was led to just pray about financial blessings. Pray for someone in here that's going to need a financial blessing. I need a financial blessing, so let's get it. Make sure you guys can see. I don't know. Where should I post? How should I do this? I never do this, so let's see. Well, I mean, I pray, but I never go live and pray. So let's put you guys here. Yeah, like this.
Carries its own grace, its own anointing.
Okay, let's go. Let's see what she
Beloved,
says.
as you awaken on this divine Tuesday morning, I want you to recognize that you are stepping into a day heaven has already prepared for you. The Spirit of the Lord has gone before you, aligning opportunities, clearing pathways, and releasing divine strength into the atmosphere. This is not just another morning. This is a spiritual appointment, a moment for your soul to come into agreement with God's intention for your life. As the light of this new day rises, let your spirit rise with it. Let peace settle over you like a soft mantle, and let the presence of God meet you right where you are. I decree over you even now that every lingering weight must lift, every whisper of fear must fall silent, and every shadow of yesterday must break off your spirit. Today carries its own grace, its own anointing, its own momentum, and its own favor. Heaven is attentive to your voice. Angels are standing at attention. The atmosphere around you is shifting into alignment as you begin to command this day. You are stepping into divine clarity, divine peace, and divine order. Before we go deeper into this sacred moment of prayer and prophetic declaration, take a moment to engage. Like this video, subscribe, and comment below where you're watching from so we can stand in agreement with you. Let us align our faith and shape this day according to heaven's blueprint. Beloved, when I speak of commanding your morning to align with God's divine blueprint and purpose, I am inviting you into a moment of profound spiritual awareness, a moment where you consciously choose to step into the flow of what heaven has already ordained for your life. Morning is not just the beginning of a new day. It is the spiritual gateway through which you enter into divine timing, divine provision, and divine intention. When you rise, you are not simply waking from sleep. You are awakening your spirit, your destiny, your assignment, and your alignment with the will of God. There is a blueprint over your life, a pattern written in heaven, a design offered by God Himself. And the morning is the most sacred time to bring your spirit into agreement with that divine design. When you command your morning, you are stepping into your God-given authority. You are not begging the day to behave. You are shaping the day through the power of your words. You are not reacting to circumstances. You are instructing the atmosphere. You are not waiting for clarity. You are calling it forth. Commanding your morning is an act of spiritual leadership. You rise not as a passive participant in life, but as one who understands the assignment of heaven. You speak into your day because God has authorized your voice to shift the unseen. You declare alignment because your words carry weight in the realm of the spirit. You speak peace because your spirit is designed to establish order. You command your morning because heaven moves on behalf of those who speak in faith. Alignment with God's divine blueprint begins in the stillness of your spirit. Before your feet touch the floor, before your mind picks up the thoughts of yesterday, before the world demands your attention, your spirit is open, it is receptive, sensitive, and ready to hear the voice of God. This stillness is not emptiness. It is expectancy. It is sacred space. In this quiet moment, your spirit reaches toward heaven like a flower opens itself to the sun. This is where alignment begins, not in striving, not in pressure, but in quiet surrender. You say, Lord, I align with you. I align with what you have planned. I align with what you have written. I align with heaven's order for my life today. As you command your morning, your heart begins to settle. Every scattered part of you begins to come into unity. Your thoughts stop racing to old fears. Your emotions stop clinging to old wounds. Your body stops carrying yesterday's tension. Alignment brings everything within you into agreement with the peace of God. It is a gentle process, a spiritual settling. You feel your spirit rising. You feel your inner world quieting. You feel the presence of God wrapping itself around you like a warm covering. In this place, you are no longer reacting, you are receiving. You are receiving strength, receiving clarity, receiving direction. Alignment with God's divine blueprint means that you allow God's intention to overshadow your own assumptions. Sometimes we wake up with our own ideas of what the day should be. We carry expectations born out of habit, emotion, or past experiences. But when you align with heaven, you release those assumptions. You say, God, override my plans with yours. Let your will take precedence over my ideas. Let your design stand above my preferences. This kind of surrender is not passive, it is powerful. It positions you for divine surprises. It opens doors that your own planning could never produce. It softens your heart so you can hear God more clearly throughout the day. Commanding your morning also means commanding your thoughts. The mind loves to wander in the morning toward fear, toward worry, toward unfinished tasks, toward old battles. But you have the authority to say, mind, be still. Align with the peace of God. Align with truth. Align with clarity. Your thoughts are not meant to lead you. You are meant to lead them. When you bring your thoughts into alignment, you create mental space for God's voice to become louder than your concerns. Thoughts settle, anxiety dissolves, overwhelm begins to break, and what remains is clarity, the kind of clarity that is not forced, but given. Your emotions too must come into alignment. Emotions are beautiful, God-given aspects of who you are. But emotions without alignment can lead you into confusion. Morning is when emotions are most tender, remnants of dreams, echoes of yesterday, feelings you haven't fully processed. But when you command your morning, you gently lead your emotions into a place of peace. You do not ignore them, you shepherd them. You say, heart, come into agreement with the peace of God. Soul, settle into the presence of the Lord. Emotions align with truth, not fear. And slowly the weight lifts. The inner noise softens. Emotional clarity begins to rise. Commanding your morning to align with heaven also means aligning your expectations. Expectation is the birth canal of manifestation. What you expect shapes what you notice, how you respond, and what you believe is possible. Many people expect disappointment without realizing it. They expect struggle, they expect resistance, they expect the worst. But when you command your morning, you reset your expectation. You say, today, I expect God, I expect peace, I expect favor, I expect clarity, I expect breakthrough, I expect alignment. And heaven responds to expectation that is rooted in faith. When you align with God's divine blueprint, you begin walking in step with heaven's timing. You are no longer rushing ahead or lagging behind. You are no longer forcing outcomes or resisting necessary change. You begin to feel the rhythm of the Spirit. Some days you will feel a supernatural ease. Other days you will feel the gentle guidance to wait. In God, you did not click this by accident. Your spirit was prepare yourself, because from this moment forward, your financial story will not remain the same. Hear this carefully in the spirit, because what I'm about to release carries financial impact in the unseen realm. This is where breakthrough begins. Beloved, in this very moment, heaven is not passive. There is a stirring, a movement, an unlocking. You are stepping into a zone where God begins to activate the flow of provision, the flow that was resisted, delayed, or distorted by spiritual interference. For the Lord would say, I am igniting what was dormant. I am accelerating what was slowed. I am opening what was sealed. I decree that every divine resource assigned to your destiny begins responding now. Angels of increase are being dispatched. Systems, people, and opportunities that were out of position are being realigned to your name. What was stuck is gaining momentum. Stay with me. Don't miss this next line. The moment you come into agreement with this word, heaven begins forming new economic pathways around you, not based on salary, not based on connections, but based on God's intention for your financial purpose. I prophesy. The flow of provision is activating, the movement of increase is accelerating, and the cycle of lack is breaking off your life right now. Now, let me take you deeper, because the real transformation begins in the realm of principles and spiritual laws. Pay close attention, because what I'm about to declare is already moving in the realm of the Spirit. Beloved, there are moments when heaven does not wait for your circumstances to catch up. Heaven moves first, and this is one of those moments. Right now, angelic forces assigned to your financial destiny are being deployed with precision. I decree this by divine authority. Every angel of breakthrough, increase, favor, and economic alignment begins executing heavenly instructions on your behalf. They are stepping into conversations you're not in, entering rooms you haven't reached, and influencing decisions that will shift your financial story. Stay with me, this is vital. The delays that shadowed your progress are being dismantled. Invisible barriers that slowed your advancement are breaking. The spiritual resistance that stood like a wall is losing jurisdiction over your finances. I prophesy acceleration. What took years will take months. What took months will take weeks. What took weeks will take days. You are entering a season where momentum becomes your ally and divine speed becomes your portion. And now, let me show you why this acceleration matters. Because heaven always moves with purpose, structure, and law. Listen closely, because what I'm about to reveal is where most people miss their financial breakthrough. This is not just inspiration. This is spiritual architecture. Beloved, nothing in the kingdom happens randomly. Increase is not an accident. Breakthrough is not luck. Financial elevation flows through laws, systems, and divine order established before the foundations of the world. The Spirit of God would say, what you expect, I empower. What you align with, I release. What you honor, I multiply. Stay with me. This is where your understanding shifts. Law W number 1, the law of alignment. God cannot bless disorder. Where there is confusion, heaven cannot pour. As your thoughts, words, and expectations align with abundance, the flow increases. Law number 2, the law of agreement. What you agree with, you authorize. Heaven responds to agreement, not emotion, not fear, not desperation, but faith-filled agreement. I decree alignment over your mind, stability over your emotions, and agreement in your spirit. LAW number 3, the law of movement. When you move, heaven moves. When you shift, increase shifts toward you. When you take faith steps, provision accelerates. Hear this. The breakthroughs you desire are not waiting on God. They are waiting on your alignment with His laws. You don't chase breakthrough. You come into position and breakthrough finds you. I prophesy clarity entering your understanding now. The fog around your finances is lifting. The divine blueprint is revealing itself. Now, let me take you deeper, because once you understand these laws, your identity in the realm of increase becomes the key that unlocks everything next. Hear me in the spirit, because this next revelation separates those who rise financially from those who remain stuck. This is where your identity shifts. Beloved, you are not a survivor of circumstance. You are not limited by economy, environment, or background. In the kingdom, identity precedes increase. Before God releases provision, he establishes who you are. For the Lord would say, you are not a consumer of scarcity, you are a steward of abundance. Stay with me, this is critical. You are not begging heaven for resources. You are authorized to manage, multiply, and govern them. The enemy has fought your finances because he fears your identity. He fears what happens when you wake up and realize you carry kingdom authority. You are trusted with divine resources. You are designed to influence, not just survive. You are an ambassador, not an accident. I decree your true identity awakens right now. Every lie that said you were limited breaks. Every internal ceiling collapses. Every mindset of lack dissolves under the weight of truth. Hear this. The moment your identity aligns with abundance, heaven releases what was withheld. Because increase is not just something God gives, it is something God trusts you to steward. Now let me take you deeper, because when identity unlocks, divine flow becomes your new operating system. Pay close attention, because what I'm about to reveal will shift the way you move in every area of your financial life. This is where pressure breaks and divine flow begins. Beloved, the kingdom never designed you to live under financial strain. Strain comes from human effort. Flow comes from divine alignment. When you operate in flow, you stop forcing outcomes and start attracting what heaven already prepared. The Spirit of God is saying, come out of striving and step into my flow. What you chase through anxiety, I release through alignment. Stay with me, this next line is for you. Your stress was never a sign of responsibility. It was a sign of misalignment. God is not calling you to carry everything. He is calling you to flow with him. Divine flow feels like clarity. It feels like calm confidence. It feels like steps becoming lighter, opportunities becoming clearer, and provision moving toward you without being chased. I decree every cycle of overthinking, pressure, and fear breaks now. Every weight you've been carrying lifts from your shoulders. Every voice that said it depends on you is silenced. Hear this in the spirit. When you stop fighting in the flesh, the spirit accelerates what belongs to you. When you stop forcing, God starts unfolding. You are entering a season where provision flows naturally, favor comes effortlessly, and increase aligns with your steps. Now let me take you deeper, because divine flow becomes powerful only when it meets divine timing. Hear this carefully, because this next part determines how quickly breakthrough manifests in your life. Timing is not a small thing in the spirit, it is everything. Beloved, there are moments in your journey when heaven opens a kairos window, a divine moment where what was impossible yesterday becomes effortless today. You are standing inside such a moment right now. For the Lord would say, I am opening doors that no man can shut. I am releasing opportunities that human effort could never produce. Stay with me, this next truth will shift you. Prophetic doors are not entered by strength. They are entered by discernment and alignment. When divine timing meets divine flow, doors respond to your presence. Some doors refused to open before because it was not time. Some opportunities delayed because heaven had not yet aligned the players, resources, and pathways connected to your destiny. But I decree with authority, the timing has changed. The grace has shifted. The gates are opening. You are stepping into rooms you didn't qualify for. You are being remembered in circles you were excluded from. You are being chosen for opportunities that were once inaccessible. And hear me, when God opens a door, He also releases the strength, clarity, and favor to walk through it without fear. Now, let me take you deeper, because once doors open, your inner healing becomes the key to sustaining the blessing. Listen closely, because what I'm about to reveal is the real reason many people never access sustained financial breakthrough. This part is deeper than money. It's about the wounds beneath the surface. Beloved, financial trauma is real. Moments where you felt abandoned by provision, seasons where doors closed for no reason, times when you expected increase but received disappointment. These experiences leave spiritual bruises, bruises that quietly sabotage your ability to receive. Hear this in the spirit. I am healing the places where disappointment took root. I am restoring the places where fear was planted. Stay with me, this is vital. If the heart is wounded, the flow of increase becomes restricted. If the mind is conditioned by fear, the hands cannot receive abundance freely. If the soul is carrying memories of lack, it subconsciously prepares for loss instead of overflow. But today, I decree healing over every internal scar. Every voice that told you you're not worthy of increase, I silence it now. Every memory that shaped your expectations with fear, I uproot it. Every identity built on past disappointments, I dismantle it by divine authority. I prophesy restoration. Your inner world is being reset. Your heart is being strengthened. Your capacity to believe again is being restored. Now, let me take you deeper, because once the internal wounds heal, your mindset becomes the gateway to the next level of abundance. Hear this with full attention, because this is the point where your inner reality begins to shift permanently. Your mindset is not a small thing. It is the gatekeeper of every financial outcome in your life. Beloved, heaven can release blessings, but your mindset determines how much you can hold, manage, and multiply. A scarcity mindset repels increase. An abundance mindset attracts it, prepares for it, and sustains it. For the Spirit of God is saying, I am renewing the lens through which you see yourself, your resources, and your future. Stay with me, this is critical. You cannot walk in overflow while thinking like someone who is barely surviving. You cannot step into increase while expecting decrease. You cannot carry abundance while seeing yourself through the eyes of limitation. I decree your mindset shifts now, from fear to faith, from survival to stewardship, from limitation to expansion, from barely enough to exceedingly above. Your thoughts are rising. Your expectations are expanding. Your internal narrative is transforming into one that matches your divine identity. Hear this next line, it's for you. When your mindset aligns with abundance, heaven releases what was delayed. Opportunities you once overlooked will become visible. Resources you felt unworthy of will become accessible. Doors you thought were impossible will open without resistance. Now, let me take you deeper, because once mindset shifts, your internal resistance must break to let the blessing flow freely. Hear this carefully, because this next revelation explains why many people feel spiritually stuck even when they believe, pray, and sow. It's because internal resistance silently fights what heaven is trying to release. Beloved, resistance is not always demonic. Sometimes it is emotional. Sometimes it is mental. Sometimes it is the residue of old seasons where you had to survive on your own. When God attempts to bless you, that old self tightens up, trying to stay in control. But today, the Spirit of God is saying, release your grip, surrender your strain, let me align you with ease. Stay with me, this is vital. Surrender is not weakness, it is spiritual positioning. You don't lose power when you surrender, you gain alignment. You don't become passive, you become receptive. I decree every form of internal resistance breaks now. Every part of you that fears increase, be healed. Every part that distrusts provision, be restored. Every part that clings to old patterns, be released. Hear this. When you surrender your effort, you make room for God's strategy. When you stop forcing, favor flows. When you let go, heaven accelerates. You are stepping out of resistance and entering divine ease. Now let me take you deeper, because once surrender activates, God begins enlarging your capacity to handle what's coming next. Hear this carefully, because what I'm about to reveal is the difference between receiving a blessing and being able to carry a blessing. This is where God prepares you for what's coming next. Beloved, God never pours abundance into a vessel that cannot sustain it. He enlarges your capacity before he increases your supply. Not because you are unworthy, but because heaven refuses to let increase destroy you. For the Spirit of God declares, I am stretching you for the level you prayed for. Stay with me, this next truth is critical. Capacity looks like stability. Capacity looks like maturity. Capacity looks like wisdom, discipline, and stewardship. Capacity looks like the emotional strength to handle pressure and the spiritual grounding to handle elevation. Some of the pressure you faced was not punishment, it was preparation. God was strengthening the part of you that will carry wealth without anxiety, influence without arrogance, and opportunity without collapse. I decree your capacity expands now. Your mindset enlarges, your discipline sharpens, your emotional foundation stabilizes, your spirit strengthens to hold overflow. Hear this, the level of increase coming to you is not small. It demands a vessel that is not fragile but fortified. And now, let me take you deeper, because once capacity expands, your life shifts into divine ease and supernatural orchestration. Listen closely, because what I'm about to say will explain why things are about to feel different for you. When capacity grows, divine ease begins. Beloved, divine ease is not laziness. It is not passivity. It is the supernatural signature that God is now orchestrating what you used to struggle for. It is the evidence that heaven has taken the weight off your shoulders and placed it into God's perfect alignment. For the Lord is saying, you will know this is me, because it will not come through strain, it will come through orchestration. Stay with me, this is where your spirit needs to shift. Divine ease feels like clarity where there was confusion. It feels like peace in places that used to exhaust you. It feels like steps becoming guided, opportunities becoming synchronized, and resources arriving at the exact moment you need them. I decree every burden you carried is lifting now. The rush, the pressure, the anxiety broken, the forces that once made you feel behind dismissed. Hear this. When God orchestrates, you cannot miss what is yours. When God aligns, no hand can block it. When God orders, no circumstance can delay it. You are entering a season where everything begins to flow toward you, not away from you. Now let me take you deeper, because once orchestration begins, your spirit must be tuned to the frequency of increase. Pay attention, because what I'm about to reveal unlocks the internal mechanism of financial manifestation. This is not just faith, this is frequency. Beloved, every breakthrough has a spiritual frequency. Every blessing carries a resonance. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are aligned with. When your spirit matches the vibration of abundance, increase begins to flow toward you effortlessly. For the Spirit of God is saying, I am tuning your spirit to the frequency of wealth, influence, and divine supply. Stay with me, this is deeper than mindset. This is about your inner atmosphere. What you carry internally determines what you magnetize externally. Fear lowers your frequency. Worry distorts it. Doubt scatters it. But faith sharpens it. Expectation elevates it. Peace stabilizes it. I decree your frequency rises now. From confusion to clarity, from anxiety to assurance, from scarcity to supernatural expectation. Hear this, your spirit is becoming a magnet for divine opportunity. What once avoided you will now be drawn to you. What once delayed will accelerate. What once resisted will surrender. You are being tuned into alignment with the flow of heaven's economy. And this tuning is not hype, it is spiritual engineering. Now let me take you deeper, because once your frequency rises, the next step is for doubt and fear to lose their final authority over your financial future. Hear this carefully, because what I'm about to say will break one of the biggest spiritual misconceptions about breakthrough. Heaven is not slow. Alignment is. Beloved, doubt is not just an emotion. It is a spiritual disruptor. It interrupts signals, lowers frequency, and blocks the flow of provision. And many times, the delay you felt in your finances wasn't heaven withholding. It was your heart still healing, still aligning, still adjusting to believe again. For the Lord is saying, I have already released what you prayed for. Now I am preparing you to receive it. Stay with me. This next truth will shift everything. Doubt grows when you stare at your own ability. Faith rises when you remember God's capacity. Doubt says, what if it doesn't happen? Faith says, what if it already has? I decree every lingering doubt breaks now. Every fear that wrapped itself around your expectation dissolve. Every internal question that made you feel unworthy be silenced. Hear this. The blessing is not far. It is not future. It is released, waiting for your spirit to fully align with it. Now, let me take you deeper, because once doubt loses its voice, God begins preparing you to sustain the increase he already commanded. Hear this in the spirit, because what I'm about to reveal is the turning point between a temporary blessing and a sustained financial life shift. This is where God prepares you not just to receive increase, but to carry it without collapse. Beloved, God is not only releasing abundance, he is shaping the version of you who can walk in it with stability, clarity, and spiritual intelligence. Wealth requires a stronger you, a wiser you, a grounded you. For the Spirit of God declares, I am building the strength within you to hold what I am releasing to you. Stay with me, this is essential. You cannot step into new levels with old emotional patterns. You cannot carry increase while being shaken by pressure. You cannot walk into elevation while still expecting loss. So I decree, your inner world is stabilizing, your emotions are maturing, your decision-making is sharpening, your spiritual posture is becoming unshakable. Hear this, increase is not coming to overwhelm you. It is coming because you are becoming someone capable of sustaining it. God never releases what he did not prepare you to hold. And right now, the preparation within you is accelerating. You are being shaped for stewardship, not survival, for strategy, not panic, for overflow, not fear. Now let me take you deeper, because once readiness is established, you can finally step into divine ease and manifestation. Hear this final moment in the spirit, because this is where everything you've received becomes sealed over your life. Beloved, I speak this prayer over you with apostolic authority. Father, bring their spirit into full harmony with your abundance. Legislate every financial blessing assigned to their name. Dismantle every barrier. Establish every open door, and release the resources heaven has already prepared. I decree overflow meets you. Provision rises for you. Favor responds to you. If this word witnessed to your spirit, declare your agreement by typing 111 in the comments, a prophetic sign that you align with heaven's release, and subscribe so you never miss the next impartation sent to shift your destiny. Your financial story changes from this moment forward.
Thank you.
Beloved, today I decree and declare